Please watch this video till end. This video explains how you could host your web application or your website using AWS cloud services. This project or this video is helpful for all those freelancers who create website or web application for their clients. This video could be also helpful to students in their college projects or in their interviews. And this project is, of course, very much useful for beginners in cloud computing. So, let's take a brief understanding of what we are going to learn in this particular video. We will learn about AWS S3 bucket. It's a brilliant service provided by AWS using which you could store your files in cloud. The second service of AWS which we are going to learn is AWS CloudFront. It's a CDN service provided by AWS, Content Delivery Network Service. Using this service, you could provide your website to your customers with a very low latency. The third service which we are going to learn about is Route 53. It's a DNS management service by AWS. Very popular. You could also, because AWS Route 53 is also a registrar, so you could buy your domain also from Route 53, or you could also use Route 53 to host your application. The fourth application or the fourth service which we are going to learn is AWS Certificate Manager. This Certificate Manager helps you to get a certificate for your website for making it secure. Meaning, generally, if you don't have certificate, your website will be hosted on HTTP. But if you want your website to be secure, then you need to have a certificate. There are many service provider out there who provide you this certificate, but using AWS Certificate Manager also you could get that certificate. So we will also learn about AWS Certificate Manager. So without wasting any moment, let us go through all these steps which we are going to carry in this particular project. So first and the most important thing which you need to have is to have your own website code. If you already have one, excellent. But in this project, we will take a sample website template from this website HTML codex. We will download the whole website template from this website. Okay. We will then test it in our local environment, that how our website looks like. If we want to modify anything, then we could modify it on our local environment. And when we are satisfied enough that our website is ready, then we are going to use AWS services to host it over the internet so that our website could be accessible around the world. Any of my customer could look into my website. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, so let's create our website first. So like I said, what we are going to do, we are going to go to this website HTML codex. Okay, and we are going to download any free template. Okay, so I'm going to go to the free template, and for example, suppose you want to create a fitness app, or you could also create a, let's see if there is anything related to software company, then we are going to download that. Okay, let's see this high-tech IT solutions. Okay, it's free. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, it's good. So let us do one thing. Let us download this. Okay, so we are going to download free template using this HTML codex website. So it's gonna give us the whole code for our website. If you already have a website, then you should use that particular the content of that particular website. But I'm going to use the sample website. So it's downloading. Okay, it's downloaded. Let's open this. Okay, we'll unzip it. Extract it in the same folder. Brilliant. We'll go into this. We'll go into this folder, and all the content, we are going to copy all the content. Okay, and I have already created this folder in VS Code. So I'm gonna copy all of them into this particular folder. So this is my folder. Okay, I'm gonna copy all the content of the website over here. Okay, now we have downloaded our website. Like I said before, if you already have your website, then you don't have to do this step. Okay, now let us check that how our website looks like. Okay, so let's go to VS Code, and let's copy the path of index file, our index file. This is our index file. Okay, let's copy the path. Let's go to here and let's check how our website looks like. Perfect. This is how our website looks like. Now, if we want to do any modification, for example, suppose right now the website goes by the name of High Tech, but suppose I want to put my company name over here. Okay, so I have to change the HTML component. So I'm gonna go back to my code, and first I'm gonna change the title. So let's my company name InfoFit Software Solution. Okay, and then we are IT Solution. So we are IT Solution. Instead of that, I'm gonna write IT Training and Development Company. So basically, our company creates IT infrastructure for any company, and we also provide training solutions to anyone who requires for that. Now, so we have changed this. Let us also change the name. I think this was the name which we are looking for, High Tech. So let's check where High Tech is present. We could search here. High. Okay, see here. So I'm gonna write here info fit software, and then let's write here solution. Okay, now if we go back and check, okay, now we have InfoFit software solution here. Okay, so let's not modify a lot because that's not the whole purpose of this video. So we have our website ready. Now the next step, let's see the next step. So we have developed our website from HTML codex. We have executed our website and local environment, and we found it satisfactory. Now the next job is to host this website over the internet so that it could be accessible to everyone around the world. So first thing what we are going to do, we are going to work on Route 53. So like I said before, Route 53 is a service provided by AWS, okay, using which we could host our application, or we could also buy a domain from here. So right now the domain which I have for my company, okay, is not from Route 53. It is from GoDaddy. So in that case, what we need to do, okay, in that case, let us understand what we need to do. First thing what you need to do, let's go to AWS. Okay, AWS account. So this is, once you log into your AWS account, this is the dashboard where you will land into. Okay, this is my dashboard. Okay, once you are into your dashboard, okay, and I'll also show you the domain which I have purchased. Okay, so the domain name which I have is this infofit labs, this one. This is my domain name, okay, which I am going to host now. So what I will do, I will copy this infofitlab.com, and I am going to create a hosted zone in Route 53 against this. Now, if one thing, if you don't see Route 53 here, because these are the services which I have recently visited, so you might not in your AWS dashboard, you might not find it here. So you could search it here also, Route 53. Once you are in Route 53, you need to create a hosted zone. Okay, so let's create a hosted zone. Okay, the name of the hosted zone will be same as the name of our website, infofitlabs.com. Okay, uh, you could add some description if you want to, but it's not necessary. And then I'm gonna create the hosted zone. Understand, my domain was not purchased from Route 53 from AWS. It was purchased from different register, from GoDaddy. Now, what I need to do, I need to update. Once you create the hosted zone, you'll get this name server. So what you need to do, you need to update this name server in the name server which is already present against the domain in the register in GoDaddy. So once you go to GoDaddy, once you go to your domain name, if you click on manage, or if you even if you click on DNS, this domain name service, okay, you'll find the name server here. If you go to the name server, you'll find a name server which belongs to GoDaddy. So you need to change this. You need to change this name server, and you need to put the name server of the AWS. Okay, after you created the hosted zone. So you have 4 names over here. So I'll copy one by one. So I'll copy this one first. I'll go back. I'll put it here. Then likewise, I'll copy the second one. Then third one. After you update your name server, it might take 2 days. In worst case scenario, it might get updated very soon, and sometimes it takes like 48 hours for name server to get updated. Okay, so I have added all 4 name servers, and then I'll do save. Okay, it will give me a warning, but I'll proceed with that warning. Continue. So now the domain was purchased from GoDaddy, but it is hosted in Route 53. Okay, AWS service. Once you come down, you'll see those name servers has already been added here. Okay, once you scroll down, you'll see that. Okay, now this task is done. We have created our hosted zone, and we have updated the name server or of our hosted zone into GoDaddy domain. Okay, if you would have bought the domain from Route 53 itself, then this part is not necessary. You don't have to do this part. Okay, now let's see what is the next step. So we have done this, we have done this, we have completed this, and we have completed this also. Okay, now the next part is we need to create a certificate for secure website. Okay, HTTPS. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, we need to go to the service called Certificate Manager of AWS. So we'll write here Certificate Manager. Okay, let's open it in new tab. Now we'll request a certificate, and we'll request a public certificate. The name of our domain is infofit lab. So let's copy it from here so that to avoid confusion. These are our hosted zone. and this is the new website. Okay, you could add another name to this certificate as well. For example, www.infofitlabs.com. Okay, now once you have entered this, you'll scroll down. You don't have to do anything else, and you just have to request. Okay, now once you do request, okay, it will ask you to verify that okay, you the certificate you are creating for is owned by you. So there are many ways to verify. Okay, one of the way is that you create record, the CNAME record against the domain. Okay, so for that, either you could create the CNAME record here in your hosted zone by yourself. You could create CNAME record, okay, by yourself, or the better choice, you could just click here and it will automatically, you'll see, you could see verify here. Right now, see, there are only two records, name server record and SOA record. So you could automatically create these two record by just clicking here. So I'll click here, okay, and I'll create record. This will automatically create two CNAME record in my hosted zone. Okay, if you go here and if you refresh, you'll see those two record has been added by the certificate manager. Okay, let's go back and check if the certificate has been issued or not. It's pending very validation. So let's go to certificates. Okay, it has been issued. Wonderful. So what we have done, we have completed this part as well. Okay, one thing you need to remember, that when you are creating certificate, create it in US East 1 North Virginia region. Okay, that is something which you need to remember. Now the next part is that we need to create a S3 bucket where we will upload all our website files. Okay, all the website file like HTML file, CSS file, or pictures, everything we need to upload in this bucket, S3 bucket. So let's do that step. For that, again, we'll go to our AWS account. I'm already logged in. So this is search. You could write here S3. Okay, this is your storage. Once you are in S3, you could create a bucket. So just click on create bucket. Now the name of the bucket is very important. So the name of your domain, ensure the name of the domain and the name of the bucket is same. So again, I'll copy it. I'll do what? Again, I'll copy the name of the hosted zone. It's already here. So I'll copy the name of my hosted zone, which is exactly similar to my website, and I'll copy it here. This part is important. Okay. Now you don't have to do anything. You don't have to untake it. Let it be as it is. I don't want anyone to access my S3 bucket, okay, publicly. So I'll not enable that. Now I'll just click on create bucket. Okay, I don't have to do anything else. Okay, you'll find many websites there. See, there are many ways to host your application, host your website using S3 bucket. One way is also like using static. I'll show you that. One way is that there is a property. If you come to property, if you scroll down, you'll see static web hosting. This is also one of the way in which you could host your application or website using S3 bucket, but we are not using this. Okay, for that you need to then enable public access. Okay, but right now we are not using static web hosting. Okay, so you don't have to do anything, you just have to create your bucket, and let's upload our files into this bucket. So just click on upload. Okay, now either you could upload one by one, add files and add folders, or what I prefer, I will drag and drop everything. This is my all the files, so I'll control select everything and I'll just drag it and drop it here. Okay, that is one way. I find it easy. You could also add files and add folder one by one. Now I'll select everything, I'll scroll down and I'll click on upload. It will take some time to upload. So Let's give it some time. It's 2% here now. While it is uploading, okay, let us review what we have already done. So we have developed our website, the code for our website. We knew what HTML codex does. We ran our application or website in local environment where I could only I can access it. I could see what is in my website. Other people can't see my website. Okay, so if I want other people to see my website, I need to host it online. So that is the reason why we are using Route 53, why we are using S3 bucket. And the next thing what we are going to learn about CloudFront. Okay, so this part we have also done. We have created route S3 bucket and we are uploading our files here. The next thing what we are going to do, next thing we are going to create a CloudFront. Okay, using CloudFront, we will make our website accessible to different part of the world. Okay, this is a very brilliant application. This reduces the latency, means your website will quickly be your website will quickly load to different parts of the world. Okay, generally what happens, suppose you are hosting your website in India. So someone who is in USA or someone who is in Europe, the latency for that website loading in their computer might differ or might be delayed if you compare it to customers who are using your website in India. But if you are using CloudFront, then that thing is taken care by CloudFront. Okay, it reduces the latency of your website. It does not matter that where the customer is from. Okay, so let's go back and see if all the files has been uploaded in S3 bucket. Perfect. So all files has been uploaded in my S3 bucket. Brilliant. Now, so all files has been uploaded. So let's see our bucket. If you want to see the configuration, you could see the configuration also. So now these are the files which are present in our bucket, and this is the main file index.html. Okay, now the next thing what we are going to do, we are going to create CloudFront. Okay, so you could write CloudFront. Okay, global content delivery network. I already have two which are already running, so I'm going to create one more. Now the first thing which we need to provide is the endpoint, the origin, which endpoint your CloudFront is gonna point towards. So it's gonna point toward the S3 bucket which we have created. So I'm gonna click this InfoFeed Labs S3 bucket endpoint which we have created right now. Okay, you'll get option. Okay, once you create your S3 bucket, you'll already get the option here, and you just have to choose from that option. Okay, now this is the one you have. This is optional, you don't have to do that. Scroll down, you'll not select here public, you select here origin access control setting. Okay, this is the recommended one, and you create new OAC here. Okay, access control. So if you don't have any, okay, these all are old. Okay, so we will create a new one for our InfoFeed Labs. Okay, just create a new one. You don't have to write anything here, these are all optional. Okay, just create. Okay, now it's telling you that now you have created, now as this giving you a warning. Okay, that you need to update the policy of the S3 bucket, because remember we have checked that we have blocked public access to our S3 bucket, all the files and folder which are present in our S3 bucket. But if we want our CloudFront service to access our S3 bucket, then we need to update the policy there. We'll see how we could do that. Scroll down, we don't have to do anything here. Okay, if you want to, if you're curious enough, you could look into additional settings and everything, but those are not required. Okay, those are all optional. You keep scrolling down. Okay, You could check this HTTP to HTTPS, because if someone is visiting your website in an unsecure manner, then it will automatically redirect HTTP request to HTTPS request. Keep scrolling down. These are cache policy. If you want to do anything here, you could do. Otherwise, I will recommend you don't have to touch anything. Okay. Scroll down. These are additional setting. You don't have to do anything. Okay. I don't want WAF. It is expensive. So I also do not enable security protection right now. You could check your price. Depends on the price. So anything you which prefers your customer. So always have an idea of your customer, like from which regions your customer belongs to. Okay. Based on that, you need to select here. Okay. Now CNAME. You could add CNAME, like if you want. This is completely optional. But if you want to add particular CNAME, for example, if I want to add, okay, infofeedlabs.com, I could add here. If you don't want, just leave it blank. No need to add anything. This SSL certificate, because you already have created one SSL certificate for your website, you could add it here. So we have created this certificate, infofeedlabs.com. Okay. So let's write here infofeed. This is our CNAME. Okay. Now scroll down. You don't have to do anything. This part is very important. Do not leave it blank. Okay. So this is index.html. Okay. This is the our first file which will be accessed by anyone who is visiting our website. This is our root object. So just mention index.html here. Scroll down. That's it. Okay. If you want to review everything, you could review. Okay. Just create distribution. Now it will take some time. Creating distribution takes some time. So just wait for the distribution to create. In the meantime, what you do, you copy this policy. Okay. Copy this policy. Go to your S3 bucket. This is your S3 bucket. Under S3 bucket, once you come to S3 bucket, go to permission. Okay. And here in permission, you will see bucket policy. This is the policy which decides which services could access the files and folder which is present in your S3 bucket. Okay. So I'll edit here because I want my CloudFront service to access the files present in my S3 bucket. So I have pasted it here, the policy which I have copied, and you'll see here that it is allowing what? Allowing my CloudFront service to access what? To access S3 bucket. This is the policy written in JSON form. Okay. It's a very simple policy. You could see the effect. See, if you don't want any service to access the S3 bucket, then you'll write here deny. But right now you're writing allow. It means you want, and which service you want to access, you want to allow this CloudFront. Okay. And what action you want this CloudFront to perform? You want it to get object. Okay. Just to read, not to write anything. So I'll scroll down and then I'll save the changes. Okay. So policy has been updated in S3 bucket. Certificate has been created. The hosted zone has been created. And let's see what is happening in CloudFront. Okay. It will take some time. Okay. Even if you refresh it, let's see if it has been created. If you go to our distribution, okay, perfect. It has been created. This is InfoFit Labs. Okay. So let's check. Okay. If I'll copy this distribution name and I'll paste it here to check if it is working. If it will work, perfect. So our CloudFront is working. Our CloudFront endpoint is perfectly working. Now, see, no one is gonna remember your CloudFront URL. Okay, it's very difficult to remember, and that is why the concept of domain name came into place. So what we are going to do, we are going to link this CloudFront endpoint with your domain name using what? Using Route 53. So what we are going to do, we are going to go back to our Route 53. Okay, we have 4 records over here. Okay, one is NS, 2 CNAMEs for Certificate Manager, and 1 SOA. So let's create a record. We are creating a record for infofeedlabs.com. Okay, and then we want to we'll keep a record itself. We want to create a alias. Okay, and what is our endpoint? The endpoint will be what? The endpoint will be the endpoint of our CloudFront. So once you click here, you'll see CloudFront distribution, and then you will choose our InfoFit Lab CloudFront distribution. Okay, and then just click on create record. Okay, now it might take some time. Okay, now you could do what? Let's directly visit our, because now we have created an alias record, a type record for alias what? For alias of CloudFront distribution. Now let's try to visit our website to check if it is working. Perfect. See, you have perfectly hosted your website, your web application over the internet using 3 to 4 brilliant services of AWS. And let me tell you this is not expensive. Okay, S3 is not expensive. What you might incur some cost for Route 53 and CloudFront. Even S3 cost you something, but they are all cheap services provided by AWS. Yes, so this is an excellent project for anyone doing freelancing, for creating website and hosting website. Okay, so please go through all this project, and if you really like this project which we have done, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please follow us on different platforms as well.